Hi mamas. I often get asked, how is what I do different to therapy? So I wanted to elaborate on that today because it is very different. So I am a psychodynamic coach. First of all, let's unpack psychodynamic. Psychodynamic means understanding how your past is affecting your present in your behaviors, your unconscious patterns, your belief systems. How do these relate back to your past? Now, it's my personal belief that everything comes from your past, right? You weren't born with any beliefs, you weren't born with any patterns. These all come from the environment in which you learnt about yourself and the world. So as a child, the most important people in your life are your primary caregivers, your parents, your school teachers, but really your parents, because they are with you from such a young age, your primary caregivers. So it's really important to acknowledge that you are you because you have inherited beliefs consciously from your parents, and you have absorbed unconsciously patterns and beliefs from your parents. And these need to be explored and unpacked if these beliefs or patterns are holding you back, or if they are not yours. And that sounds like a really obvious thing to say, but so often we carry these beliefs through our lives for a very long time without realizing that actually they're not ours. We don't agree with them. So our belief systems can affect a lot of things, every single aspect of our life. Things that seem as trivial as the foods that you eat, the kind of house that you choose to live in, the kind of area that you choose to live in, whether you prefer villages, the countryside, or a town, the kind of school that you pick for your kids to attend. All of these can really be influenced by the kind of values that your parents had and what they thought was superior to other things. And on a much deeper spiritual level, obviously, there's things like whether you feel safe in the world, who you think or how you think of yourself in the world, and what the world represents to you. These are messages that you would have been given by your parents based on their wounds. So really, really important to unpack what is yours, what is not yours. That is the psychodynamic part of what I do. Therapy and coaching, very, very different. The difference between therapy and coaching, the main difference I would say is that coaching is action orientated, results focused. So I want to teach you tools that you can apply to overcome the patterns, the blocks, the fears that are affecting your life now. I want you to move beyond these blocks so that you live a life where you are happy and calm and present, not needing to feel so much in control, able to surrender and trust in life, trust in other people, connect to other people on a deep level because you feel safe. So I will teach you the tools that you need to apply to your life in order for that to happen. We do that on a regular basis, and we will keep tweaking and looking at what is needed together, which tool we need to apply to whatever block or fear or self-limiting belief so that you can overcome it. That's why we're always moving forwards towards your goals, and your goals are something that you set as something you want to work towards, a kind of person that you want to be, feelings that you want to feel. So that's what coaching is. Therapy is more analyzing feelings, analyzing the past, without necessarily having the tools to move forwards out of those patterns. So that's a broad brush description of both. Many, many clients come to me having done a lot of therapy, feeling like they still don't have the tools to move forward. That's where we can work together, because not only do we unpack your past, and of course we look at the things that you may have looked at in therapy, but it's always with a view to moving out of those self-limiting beliefs and patterns. So I'm going to give you an example I had a client who is seeing a therapist at the same time as me, actually. And that's perfectly okay if you're getting different needs supported in that way. And I asked her to look at a memory that was triggering a lot of feelings in her present. So again, that's the psychodynamic bit. If you're having a trigger in your present now that is causing a very disproportionate reaction in you now, that is because the root cause of that feeling is from your past. So we need to go back to your past, but not just to wallow in it, not to re-traumatize you, to find tools that we need to apply to your past so that it's no longer alive in you, so that's in the past. And the problem with unprocessed experiences is that they're not in the past. You are still carrying them. They are still alive in you, and that is what's getting triggered in the present. So I asked my client to go back to a specific memory, which was the root cause of a feeling that was getting triggered a lot in her present. She did that, and then she discussed it afterwards with her therapist, who, when she was discussing the memory, commented on the setup of the memory, commented on the situation in which she found herself in the memory. Now, that's a very different approach to what I would take. For me, the setup, the surroundings, where you were, what that looked like, it's irrelevant. It's truly irrelevant, because what's important is your feeling. That is why, that is the only reason we're going back to the memory in the first place, to release and heal and process the feelings that weren't able to be processed at the time, because you were too little, you weren't psychologically evolved enough, or you were scared of the consequences, abandonment, rejection, punishment. So it doesn't matter what the memory looked like. The only thing that is important is your feeling. Therapy may dwell more on the setup and analysing that memory, analysing memories, but that's here. That's using this part of your brain. That's not how I work. I use this part of your body, the heart, the feelings, because for me, your trauma is held in the body, and it's only via the body that we can release it. So it's a really, really important difference in our approaches. If you want to heal a memory, in my opinion, it has to be healed from the body. It will never come from analysis, because that's just a comfort zone. We could all analyze our feelings for hours, and it's safe, feels safe, doesn't feel uncomfortable. And that's why we don't move beyond the wound. We have to feel uncomfortable, unfortunately, temporarily, with the support of our inner parent. That's obviously crucial, and that's another tool that you would learn. But it's really important to know that if you want to move forward, if you want an action-orientated, results-focused process, then you're probably better suited to coaching. So I wanted to clarify what psychodynamic and what coaching means in relation to therapy, because it's something that I get asked a lot, and I hope that's more clear. If you need any more clarification, and indeed if this approach is something that resonates with you, then I'm here for you. I would love to offer you a free discovery session, and we can explore exactly how this approach might help you get you out of wherever it is that you're feeling stuck. And you can find out more about that on my website, www.laviniabrown.com. I hope that was helpful. Lots of love.